Hello friends, in this video lecture we will discuss about oogenesis. Oogenesis is the process in which there is formation of haploid egg or ovum occurs by diploid germinal or oogonial mother cells by the process of meiosis. Oogenesis occurs inside the ovary and the process of oogenesis starts when a female baby present in its embryonic stage in its own mother's body. Now, there are few important points regarding oogenesis. First, oogenesis is a discontinuous process. Why this is discontinuous? Because there are two temporary arrested phase that we discuss further in the same lecture. Second, oogenesis takes nearly 10 to 12 years for completion and this will continue after puberty. So here this is the TS of ovary at the time of puberty. We already discussed oogenesis started in a female baby when the baby is in its own embryonic stage, that is in their mother body. Here this is TS of ovary at the time of puberty. This outermost layer of ovary is germinal epithelial layer, and inside this there is a layer that is known as tunica albuginea, that is not very important. After that there is liquid content inside and the whole thing is known as stroma or matrix. That stroma or matrix further divided into two parts. Its outer part, here this region, is known as cortex, while the inner region is known as medulla. So this medulla region is supplied by a number of blood vessels, while this cortical region is related with the actual process of oogenesis, that are change related with follicles. Now here in this diagram simply you can see these are few cells that are primordial follicles or egg mother cells. From this there will be formation of primary follicles, then secondary follicles, then tertiary follicles, then Graafian follicle, and when there is rupturing of this Graafian follicle then there will be release of ovum or secondary oocyte. After rupturing of Graafian follicles, the remain of Graafian follicles converted into spherical structure that is known as corpus luteum. Because of yellow pigmentation, this also known as yellow body. This corpus luteum may persist or may degenerated and then converted into a smaller structure that is known as corpus albicans. This is white in color, so also known as white body. Now the details of oogenesis. These details are further given here. So like spermatogenesis, in oogenesis also there are three subphases: multiplication phase, growth phase and maturation phase. In multiplication phase simply there is mitotic division. After that the number of oogonial cells increases gradually. In growth phase, that is very long here in case of oogenesis, this may take 10 to 12 years. As we already discussed, oogenesis is started in female in their embryonic condition and this completed at the time of puberty. In case of female, puberty starts 10 to 14 year age. So till that there is continuous growth phase and there is a number of events related with that growth phase. We will discuss the same here in the lecture. Now, so this primordial follicle is converted into primary oocyte. This primordial follicle after mitotic division converted into primary oocyte. This is actually related with oocytogenesis, we can say. Here cytoplasmic increase is there. In this diagram the centralized portion is primary oocyte and later on this primary oocyte further coated with a number of granulosa or follicular cells. So few of the follicular cells, they are getting covered around primary oocyte and they form primary follicle. So in primary follicle there are two subphases, we can say early and late phase. In early phase there is simple single line of granulosa cells, while in late phase of primary follicles there is more than one layer of granulosa or follicular cells. Now this primary follicle later on converted into secondary follicle. So what is secondary follicle? This is primary follicle plus one more additional layer formed here by germinal epithelium, that is known as theca layer. So in this diagram, this outermost layer here is theca layer. So secondary follicle and primary follicle, what is the basic difference in between? In secondary follicle there is presence of theca layer. Now this secondary follicle converted into tertiary follicle. So what is present in tertiary follicle? So tertiary follicle carrying secondary follicle theca layers. This theca layer here now differentiated into externa as well as interna. Externa and interna. So in this diagram, after this granulosa layer or follicular cells, you can see this first layer or this middle layer is theca interna, while this outermost layer is theca externa. So in tertiary follicle this theca differentiated into two, externa and interna. With respect to time, here there will be loss of few granulosa cells and there is development of a cavity. That cavity is known as antrum cavity, and this antrum cavity is filled with a liquid that is known as liquor folliculi. So here in this space the liquid is filled and this liquid is secreted by these granulosa cells. Now at this time this primary oocyte after meiosis 1 converted into secondary oocyte. So here there will be completion of first meiosis, but from here to here when we discuss about the duration, primary follicle formed inside the individual's female baby fetal life, and from here to here there will be a gap of nearly 10 to 12 years. So this process is a part of growth phase, and here in the growth phase huge time is needed. Now tertiary follicle converted into Graafian or mature follicle after a number of changes. So what changes occurs here in tertiary follicle when this converted into mature or Graafian follicles? This everything remains same, but here there is addition of two more layer. One is zona pellucida. This is secreted by secondary oocyte. So here this red portion is secondary oocyte, and by this secondary oocyte there is secretion of a layer that is acellular proteinaceous layer. Means there is no cell, but this is why? Because this is made by proteins. So this is acellular or non-cellular proteinaceous layer secreted by secondary oocyte, and around this there is another layer of cells that is remains of granulosa cells. This is known as corona radiata, and around this here this is the cavity that is antrum cavity and is filled with liquor folliculi. Again the liquid is secreted by these granulosa cells. This secondary oocyte connected with outer granulosa with the help of few granulosa cells, and these granulosa cells that are appearing here in between the region like neck is known as cumulus oophorus. So there may be question, what is cumulus oophorus and where this is present? So this is present in Graafian or mature follicle, and this is a region of connection in between secondary oocyte and granulosa cells layer. Finally, this Graafian or mature follicles at the time of ovulation is getting ruptured, and from this secondary oocyte comes out. Secondary oocyte or ovum that is given here, this comes out, and the remains of this Graafian follicle is converted into these two yellow bodies that are corpus luteum. this is already we discussed is a temporary endocrine gland that is related with secretion of progesterone. Like same, there is one more temporary endocrine gland present in female, that is placenta, but placenta forms only at the time of implantation. Here this is flow chart of oogenesis. So as we discussed, oogenesis occurs inside ovary, and oogenesis started in female body when that female is in its own embryonic stage, that is in their mother's body. So ovary, as we discussed, is covered externally by cuboidal germinal epithelial cells. This is simple cuboidal germinal epithelial. Inside ovary there is a number of oogonia or egg mother cells. These cells are diploid. In NCERT this is given, there are nearly 2 million egg mother cell or oogonia present in each ovary at the time of embryonic development in that respective female, and no more oogonia or egg mother cell formed or added after birth, and from here there will be gradual decrease in number of oogonia because of their death. So in this oogonia, meiosis first started, but very quick this is getting arrested in diplotin phase of prophase first. So this point is very important. Oogonia, when converted into primary oocyte or primary follicle, we discuss later, then in which phase there will be a temporary arrestment. So this is diplotin of prophase first. This oocyte means oogonia when started meiosis first, then converted into oocyte, but there will be temporary arrest. So this oocyte later on getting covered by a number of granulosa or follicular cells. These are also present in ovarian cortex, that is the outermost part of ovary. So these cortical cells are getting covered around this primary oocyte, and then the structure is considered as primary follicle. This primary follicle formed in the respective female before birth. After that there will be birth, then childhood phase, and then puberty. In case of female, puberty started at the age of 10 to 14 years. So when puberty comes, at that time this primary follicle further undergoes continuation of meiosis that was earlier arrested in diplotin of prophase 1, and during this, that is birth up to puberty, there will be gradual decrease in the number of primary follicles. So what was the number of primary follicles before birth? This was in millions, but now after birth there is nearly 60,000 to 80,000 primary follicles that is left in each ovary. So again here there is nearly 2 million oogonia or egg mother cell in each ovary, but now here after birth, after childhood, after puberty, means up to 10, after 10 years there will be nearly 60,000 to 80,000 primary follicles left in each ovary, and this decrease in number of primary follicles, the process is known as follicular atresia, that is degeneration of primary follicle. This is death of primary follicle. The dead follicles are known as atrexic follicle. The follicles which are getting degenerated during the process, they known as atrexic follicles. So this primary follicles later on getting covered by more and more granulosa cells layer. Here there is only one and few layers of granulosa. Now there will be more addition of granulosa cells layer, and one more layer that is very important, this is theca layer, is also secreted by ovarian wall. This getting covered around primary follicles. Now the primary follicle is converted into secondary follicle. Later on, secondary follicles after a number of changes converted into tertiary follicles. So what changes occurs here in secondary follicle? Its theca layer differentiated into two layers, theca externa and theca interna, and there will also be development of a cavity that is known as antrum cavity, and this cavity is filled by a liquid which is known as liquor folliculi. That liquid is secreted by granulosa cells. Later on, there will be completion of meiosis first in primary oocyte, and there will be production of secondary oocyte and first polar body. Technically, both are secondary oocyte, but because of unequal meiosis, maximum cytoplasm shifted in one secondary oocyte, that is functional, and this secondary oocyte later on will convert into egg cell, while the second is carrying very less amount or negligible amount of cytoplasm. So this is non-functional, or this will be died after some time. This is known as first polar body or polocytes. So tertiary follicle actually carrying secondary oocyte. Further, after a number of changes in tertiary follicle, this tertiary follicle getting converted into mature or Graafian follicles. What are the changes here? So there will be addition of two more layers. The first is zona pellucida, that is formed by secondary oocyte around its own self. This is non-cellular proteinaceous layer, while outside this zona pellucida there is another layer which is known as corona radiata. This is formed by granulosa cells, and finally this tertiary converted into mature or Graafian follicles. This mature or Graafian follicles, in the mid of menstrual cycle, this Graafian follicle is getting ruptured and there will be release of secondary oocyte. But before this release, secondary oocyte already undergone in the process of meiosis 2. But again here meiosis 2 arrested temporarily in metaphase 2. So as already in the start of lecture we discussed, oogenesis is a discontinuous process. Why? Because of these two temporary arrestment. The first temporary arrestment occurs when oogonia converted into primary follicles. This occurs when a female baby exists in its own embryonic form. And second temporary arrestment occurs here at the time of puberty. So this secondary oocyte later on further participated by meiosis 2, but before that the remains of this mature or Graafian follicles is getting converted into another structure that is known as corpus luteum. Corpus luteum we already discussed is a temporary endocrine gland in female body that is related with progesterone. This hormone is also known as pregnancy hormone, that is related with maintenance of pregnancy. So if fertilization is not there at that time, this corpus luteum degenerated and converted into corpus albicans. We already discussed this corpus luteum is yellow in color, so known as yellow body, while corpus albicans is white in color, so known as white body. Now again about secondary oocyte or ovum. So this secondary oocyte or ovum releases out after ovulation from the ovary. Now this egg is taken by fimbriae of fallopian tube. We discuss in fallopian tube or oviduct there are three parts: infundibulum, ampulla and isthmus, and just at the anterior of infundibulum there is a number of finger like projections that are known as fimbriae. So by fimbriae this secondary oocyte is taken and carried towards uterus. Now when this secondary oocyte comes in contact with sperm after insemination, then there will be completion of meiosis 2 at the time of fertilization. And where fertilization occurs, so we already discussed This occurs in ampullary stomach junction of fallopian tube. If there is no fertilization, then this secondary oocyte without completion of meiosis II comes outside of the body in the process of menses, that is menstrual discharge that occurs after menstrual cycle. So here, if there is fertilization, that is fusion in between male and female gamete, then this secondary oocyte completed its second meiosis, and again this is unequal as previous meiosis. So here there will be formation of one haploid egg cell while another haploid very small second polar body. So finally, after the process, there will be release of a single egg or ovum. In case of female, there is participation of one ovarian follicle into full blown egg or ovum, and this occurs by each ovary alternatively at the each 28 to 29 days. This is the duration of menstrual cycle. So in each menstrual cycle, there is involvement of a single ovary for production of egg or secondary oocyte. And in case of female, oogenesis occurs only in between menarche and menopause. What is menarche? So this is start of puberty. Start of puberty that we discuss occurs in between 10 to 14 years. So roughly here this is taken at 12 years. And second, menopause. So what is menopause? This is cessation of menstrual cycle that occurs nearly at the age of 50. So during menarche to menopause, that is nearly 38 years age. Menarche, this is age of sexual maturity, we can say, when menstrual cycle starts, and menopause, this is cessation or stoppage of menstrual cycle. So in between these 38 years, a particular female is capable to produce egg, and that's why this may participate in pregnancy.